Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's me, Psychic Charm, and today I'm going to be talking about Game 1 of the NBA Finals. It's finally here, the Finals. Spurs, Knicks, as you all know, and if many of y'all watch the game, you know the outcome. The Knicks won this one. I think it was 107-97 or 105-95 it was. Man, it was a real dogfight for most of the game. It really felt like could have went either team's way. Multiple teams went on runs that really felt like, oh, this is momentum swinging, but basketball is a game of runs at the end of the day, and stuff like that happens. So first quarter, the Knicks very early on looked like they were going to control the game. Dylan Harper went on like a 10-0 run by himself. It felt like he was getting everything. Brunson either picked up one or two just injuries during that. I know he banged up his knee. Harrison Barnes got shoved into him, I think, on a box out, and I think later on, maybe this was in the second, Luke Kornet landed on his ankle, or he rolled his ankle on his foot. Kornet, I think, landed on his ankle too with his foot. I don't know, but Brunson got beat up this game and still dropped 30, and his field goal percentage wasn't amazing unless you look at the fourth quarter. Getting ahead of myself. Early kind of part of the game for the Spurs, it really felt like they were getting everybody involved. You had Julian Champagnie that was just a flamethrower from three. Devin Vassell was good early. Dylan Harper as well. All these guys I mentioned, while still getting stuff from Wemby and Castle. It felt like they were playing good as a team. But the Knicks as well, it was the same. I mean, Jose Alvarado gave them just 7 points, which it just really felt like that was, I didn't think he was going to give them anything on offense really when they checked him in, but 7 points, I mean, that's really big, to stay in this game. And really the first half, I think the Spurs as a team had 12 or 13 free throws to the New York Knicks. They had one, and it was a 7-point lead at halftime, which is kind of crazy because that was barely a lead, and it was still in striking distance without getting as many free throw attempts as them, which that's something you can work around. The Knicks in the second half, they started to get more free throws and started playing closer to the basket. And there's a couple things I'll say though, but Cat, especially in the first half, he was getting just great shots for himself and his teammates. I really wish they would have ran a lot more through Cat, because although I get that you want to run stuff for OG and Bridges and Brunson, I mean, it felt like the most efficient basketball they were playing is when they would, stick like a guard on Cat, and then Cat would post him up, or Cat's just a good passer as well. But I wish Cat would have been a little bit more aggressive punishing those matchups and the Knicks in general as a team, because that really could have, I mean, they won, but that might be relevant next game, because there's an interesting predicament, because Josh Hart is being guarded by Wemby, because Josh Hart can't shoot and Wemby wants to roam. But who does that leave for Cat? I mean, they just have a bunch of guards like Champagnie, Fox, Castle kind of can, but then who do you have on Brunson? So I wish I would have saw more out of him, but he played fine, and maybe they'll pivot to more of that next game as they watch film and stuff. But there were so many possessions where I'd see De'Aaron Fox or Champagnie or Vassell, and I'm like, please just pass it to Cat. Good things will come out of this. Good plays will come out of this. But that continued in the third, honestly. The rest of the game, they really, they'd run stuff for Cat and then have him involved, but I just didn't really feel like he touched the ball nearly enough as he should. But Wemby had this crazy Space Jam dunk on Mitchell Robinson in the third. That was just something I've never seen before, and that's just something that he does. But a lot of the second half Spurs really was a lot of Castle and Wemby. Nobody else really showed up. And for the Knicks, I mean, you'd have Brunson, you would have, Landry Shamet, you would have McHale, you would have OG, Cat. You had a lot more guys chipping in, and I think that really helped them kind of win that second half and win the game, because, I mean, for the most part, it was a lot of ticky-tack fouls it felt like the Spurs were getting, and Castle and Wemby would get them. I mean, they'd get to the rim, but they weren't really efficient there. Spurs, for the game, shot God, what was the percentage? They shot, I think it was 30-something%. Then the Spurs shot as a team, which the Knicks didn't do much better, but they still won this game, and that's all that matters. I'm not going to be as harsh on New York as I am the Spurs. Fourth quarter comes around, OG had this crazy shot on Wemby. I mean, just jab step. quick little pump and then another jab step and then hit him with a three, and that was just nuts. I mean, I love when OG gets in his bag and thinks he's the best player on the Knicks. That's always just really fun to watch. And Brunson really carried late, had 13 points in the fourth quarter, and just one circus shot at the end that I thought, I mean, it looked like a prayer when he threw it up, but I did not think that was going to go in. My kind of overall notes, I'll have the Knicks first, is that, Brunson, I mean, he got banged up twice, but he continued playing like a dog, and maybe, that might be a continuing trend for the rest of the series, but it really felt like the Knicks weren't getting much calls, and it didn't really feel like it wasn't that they weren't driving. I mean, sometimes they wouldn't because obviously Wemby's on the floor, but even when they would like drive at a favorable matchup, they wouldn't really get that, and you'd have like just Brunson getting banged up. I think that for as much as people think the Spurs are here to save ethical basketball, they get away with a lot of fouls, and they get a lot of free throws, evidenced by this game. So I'm just pointing out fan hypocrisy there, but that won't bode well. It felt like the Knicks, I iterated this, but it felt like the Knicks could have really gotten Cat the ball more. Like, I get that you want to get Brunson and other guys involved, but it just felt like they were getting really efficient shots just from Cat anytime he'd be in a pick and roll or he'd have a small on him. Josh Hart had him a game. I love a player like Josh Hart. Was a plus 22, highest box plus minus out of anybody. 15 rebounds at 6'4", 4 steals and 6 assists. Just really fun game out of him, and you still get good shooting from Landry Shamet, 3 of 6, and that's still really important. 9 points off the bench. Cat, shout out to Cat, because sometimes he can just sit in that chair. I don't know if this was the percentage all game, but I remember a pop-up under the screen showed up that when Wemby was being guarded by Cat, he was shooting 1 of 8 from the field and had 3 turnovers. And it really felt that way. I mean, Cat was playing him well. Champagnie continues to be on a hot streak. In the second half, he kind of cooled off. But from the game, I believe he shot 5 of 10, which, I mean, he's been really vital. Him and Vassell, what they've been able to do as 3-point shooters and spacers. Doesn't get mentioned enough for how well the Spurs are playing right now. It's really a lot to do with those guys. And obviously it's Wemby and Castle and Harper, but those guys have been really just crucial as spacers because Castle and Harper really haven't been getting it done, but those guys have just been they've just been snipers, man. It's crazy. De'Aaron Fox, I think he shot 3 of 19 for the game. He did not shoot well for this game. I don't know what you do about him. I mean, maybe you play him less minutes. I should have looked at his minutes before filming this video, but he can't throw a rock in the ocean, it feels like, all playoffs. And I think that they need to trade De'Aaron Fox eventually. I mean, he was good when he was in Sacramento, but I mean, you got all these other guards behind him that are frankly just better at this point than him, and he's just not shooting the ball well. Dylan Harper really carried early, but he didn't really show up late in the game or at any other point that much, that noticeably, but that run early was good, and maybe we'll see more out of him. I mean, Dylan Harper, it doesn't feel like he misses a layup. He has some tough finishes sometimes that, like, I know what Wemby does is crazy sometimes, but the stuff I see Dylan Harper do out there sometimes, I'm like, dang, is this dude ever going to miss a layup? Wemby did not play good this game. He shot 6 of 21 from the field, and you might look at his points, but he got like 12 or 11 free throws, somewhere around there. And I think it was 13, I believe. I don't know. He got a lot of free throws over just some small stuff. I don't know if that's going to be how it's called next game. You don't know if the fix is in with Scott Foster. We have to expect better out of him. Late in the game, like, he dribbled the ball off his foot. And if you're going to be the best, like, if everybody is going to call him the best player in the world now, I don't think, like, Shai Gilgeous is doing that late in the game. If Wemby's going to want to defend that title or prove that he is the best player in the world, then he's going to have to step up late in the game and be able to take over a basketball game, because in that fourth quarter I did not see him. And yes, he's a great defender. He's the greatest defender in the world. Like, we don't need to debate that. You just gotta do better if you're that caliber of a player. If you're a top 3 guy in the world and everybody's calling you the best, Wemby's gonna have to do better. And the Knicks, crazy win. 52% of the time when an away team wins a game 1, they win the series, and that doesn't mean that the Knicks are going to win, because there's that other 48% of the time. Madison Square Garden, you're going to have 2 games there, and you got home court. The Spurs, I mean, they're going to have to show up game 2, which I'm sure they will. I mean, they won 62 games, and they were an amazing team this year, and I wouldn't be surprised if this went 7 or 6 games. My prediction, because I forgot to make a video before this, I really went back and forth with it. You see, I'm I'm still not sure. I'm gonna say Knicks in 7. All right, peace out, y'all. Do all the usual YouTube stuff, like, subscribe, comment, do all that usual stuff, and I'll see you guys in the next video. This has been Psychic Charm. Peace out.